Hello, welcome, KamenRider Blackman. Let me close this door, and hopefully it will stay closed. And it is. Little heated right now because I actually filmed this episode already today, but apparently I deleted all the content that I had on here before it gets saved, so I have to reshoot it. I'm so pissed off because if I look, I'm so pissed off because if I looked under one of my albums, it would be there, but nothing's there at all, which makes me think because I just got, which I don't know because I have it all saved, a copy of it all saved under of that album, and deleted everything else because I didn't need it anymore. But apparently not. Also, I don't film on my cell phone. I film on a tablet. So that's also kept in mind. But let's keep moving forward because today I am reviewing Kamen Rider Zio episode 18. This will be an easy review. I would have a different bit to start off the episode, but that was also deleted. So here we are. So, coming off of last episode with the first battle of Kamen Rider Woes, like another shinobi is defeated and Schwartz just walks up to the Rentaro Kamen Rider shinobi on the ground and basically restarts the another shinobi ride watch, which, spoiler alert, Schwartz does that like a dozen times in this episode, and no one ever pulls out a gun and shoots him. Can you believe how sassy he is? It's like he's basically like a girl hanging out with her best friend and a bunch of other friends that she just doesn't fuck with. just, I just found that funny. So, they go back to the clock shop / Sogo's house, and let's take a gander at what Sogo's input of all this is. Like, really? Like, because I already have that covered. Like, this is regular Woes, and this is Death Note Woes. Race joke coming along, and I've spent all since last night thinking about this. Because no, take a good look at this right now. Now, you see Black Woes here. He's dressed formal. He is prepared. He is on the job to be Omazio's hype man. He's basically what you can call a Japanese Morgan Freeman. And we have here White Woes, who, honest to God, is dressed like a 2068 white girl having a pumpkin spice latte and jamming out to his transformation sequence, because that whole music that's on the Beyond Driver, it consists of Skrillex and white people. Yeah. And see, it's catching on. So, this is really gonna. So I'm just gonna skim through a bit now, because so far it's just recapping from last episode, and the next part is just recapping from Kamen Rider Shinobi Rentaro. where it goes to this one scene where he gets thrown into a pile of garbage and gets beat up, but he doesn't actually get beat up and just cowers and gets thrown into a pile of garbage. So, yeah. If this was 4 years ago, he would be kicking all different kinds of asses and still be one of the only good things from Ninja. And that's not a lot to say, and that's not a lot coming from Ninja. And so, Tascomi and Gates go to the future to 2022 to defeat another shinobi and get the Kamen Rider Shinobi Ride Watch. But they can't because that all happens in an alternate timeline to which they can't just go to themselves. And which actually makes sense because it would be, in a way, yeah, it would be basically creating a butterfly effect. And for those of you that don't know what a butterfly effect is, let me explain the definition for when I see it right now. So the butterfly effect is a sensitive dependence on initial conditions in which a small change in one state of a deterministic nonlinear system can result in large differences in a later state. So them going back in time themselves to alter that what's already changed effect is just a big no, because it's not their own timeline, so that form of restriction really blocks them. And so it's up to Sogo now as he goes to Rentaro and he tries to talk him down and relate to him about what he's been through up till now. Yeah. So Sogo basically tries to relate to him and calms him down about, basically, to sum it up, your future self was much more honorable and stronger, but not this way. And so that's the only way I can find myself summing it up. But yeah. And so another Shinobi and Zio fight. He beats it a couple of times. And once again, Schwartz restarts the watch all those times and nobody stops him because... But one time, Rentaro stops Woes because he actually understands, and says, no, I want to be strong my own way and I don't have to do this anymore. And Schwartz does about the most BDSM thing to start off this new year. And he says, word for word, no one asked for your response, starts up Ride Watch, and puts it back in his temple. Does anyone ever notice how I always seem to make sex offender jokes about Schwartz, and it's never without a reason? And now it's time for this episode to get hit on the head, because Death Note Woes takes out his book and writes in, and there appears, he basically writes to create the Kamen Rider Shinobi Ride Watch. Dude, you could have done that any time at all this episode. So yeah, the whole point of this episode is, half of the point of this episode is a new form for you, and you just could have done that at the beginning. So yeah, Kamen Rider Woes featuring Shinobi. Let's talk about this form. Sorry for my tone, because this is really where this episode goes down. All right, let's talk about the form first. Not the biggest fan of this, which is weird because Purple and silver look great together, but once you add in that green all over, it's meh. It's a really meh. And keep in mind just right now, this is just a meh. And keep in mind right now, I find this a meh, but next week, they'll be a lot worse. Well, 2 weeks from now. I'll explain at the end. So, another shinobi is beaten, and everyone takes a good realization right now that that everyone's trying to change the future. So, overall, this episode's a mess. Because, I'm sorry, good start, piss poor climax. Like, you just started a new way of how to beat a different breed of another riders. And the only way to beat them is to Deus Ex Machina it. Because, I'm sorry, that's what really hurts this episode. There's good structure. Like, you can't go into the future to get the future ride watch. So instead, you just retconned it. And that's not a good thing. And so, I just hope that they don't have this for next week. So, once again, good climax. No. Bad climax. Very bad climax. I smack you climax. And just pretty much that. This episode would have been fine, but the fact that it got resolved so quickly is just... It doesn't sit right. And so, with that said, Kamen Rider ZO episodes 19 and 20 I will review in 2 weeks, because next week we are celebrating the late Shotaro Ishinomori's birthday by reviewing Kamen Rider Kuuga. So stay tuned for that. And that's it for today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, tell your friends about KamenRider Blackman, follow the social media down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.